We've already introduced the Nio ET5 Touring to you in a detailed review, including a factory tour. And today, we'd like to continue with this electric station wagon, focusing on its consumption on the highway at 100, 120, 140, 160 km/h. And of course, we're going to check out the charging because there's supposed to be an update from Nio that allows the Nio ET5 Touring to charge even faster. We want to test this with you, the assistance systems, the driving comfort, the travel comfort, and all those things you need on a long journey with an electric station wagon. Before we start, please check again if you are part of the Drive Electric community. If not, please support us with a subscription, then you won't miss future videos. I have one more big favor to ask, and that is, thanks to OLLI, we now have the opportunity to show our videos to you in other languages, such as in English, for example. To complete this task, we've set up a second channel named Simply Electric. Find the link in the video description and support us at Simply Electric. Let's kick things off with the consumption ride and charging test for the Nio ET5 Touring. We have just recently begun our very exciting journey with the Nio ET5 Touring model to head with all of you lovely people towards the highway at this very moment. Before we proceed with that, let's first discuss the starting point, Stefan.
Yo, let's do that.
All-wheel drive, 360 kilobytes, 489 horsepower, acceleration in 4 seconds. We clocked in the review, 0 to 100. Yes, indeed.
He does.
It's supposed to hit 200 at the top. Let's give it a shot. But what kind of wheels did we install?
245s on 19-inch, and we've got winter tires on.
On alloy rims, right?
Yes, indeed.
Today we've got 10 degrees. It's quite overcast, occasionally drizzling a bit, so it's just starting to rain lightly. Actually, we've got some quite good, truly impressive values, I firmly believe, to achieve a very solid figure here in terms of consumption.
I'm eager to see what it can do.
That means we've got an onboard computer consumption here, which is such a brilliant Nio development. We need to approach this with a bit of caution. So we don't have this classic onboard computer that we know from cars with just resetting through consumption. This all seems a bit more modern around here, doesn't it?
Simple too.
Let's take a closer look. We have recently arrived at our designated test track on the A13, located just south of Berlin, now heading towards Cottbus, Dresden, aiming to accurately determine the initial consumption together. At a speed of 100 km/h, which is indeed considered the average speed, let's now together collaboratively reset the onboard computer. To thoroughly explore and find out precisely how much fuel the car is expected to consume over the course of the upcoming 20 kilometers in this specific area. We've got a brand new consumption value here with the innovative Nio ET5 Touring model. You can see it right here, very, very clearly, indeed, without any doubt. We've driven 20.4 kilometers in 12 minutes. You can also see very, very clearly for driving assistance, passenger comfort, battery, and other topics, what its travel consumption is. And here you can clearly see that we have an average consumption rate of 20.1, or to be more precise, 20.3 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. I believe for 360 kilowatt, that's not a top value. There are several other participants who consume significantly less than 20 kilowatt hours. I recall, for instance, the Tesla Model 3, to be fair, the standard range, yes.
That was below it too.
Or, of course, the BMW i4. But given the power and the all-wheel drive, it's not a bad consumption figure, right?
Definitely not.
It's more average, right?
Exactly.
We've set the adaptive cruise control feature here to exactly 120 km/h, or as it's also commonly called, the pilot, in the Nio ET5 Touring's optimal position found. And now we aim to reset the onboard computer to accurately measure the consumption over the upcoming 20 kilometers while driving at an average speed of 120 km/h. A top-quality electric vehicle comes with a solid, highly dependable assistance system, ensuring safety and comfort. And there, Nio has incorporated a tremendous amount of technology into the ET5 Touring as well. So, various cameras on the roof, in the fenders, in the back, on the shark fin, plus the large LiDAR sensor, cameras up here in the mirror. All of them are meant to ensure that the Nio might even be able to drive fully autonomously in the future. Currently, it features partial autonomy, has a so-called co-pilot on board, which of course we've also activated for our consumption drives. And what I've observed is that it can maintain its position in the very center of the lane really smoothly. Other vehicles tend to weave between the lines. It also features a truly outstanding and efficient traffic sign recognition system, which nearly always adopts and adheres to the speed limits almost 100% of the time without fail, and where you essentially need to adjust the vehicle's speed by simply pressing a button. Unfortunately, he can't do that on demand. I mean, we're familiar with this from the Volkswagen Group, Audi, right up to Mercedes and BMW, where he truly can adjust the speed in a predictive manner. Nio isn't quite there yet, but I genuinely do believe if it is truly desired, this could also be comfortably adjusted via software updates over the air. Is it that time already? Indeed? Yes, we have now covered a distance of 20.8 kilometers, 20.9 kilometers. And here you can see very, very clearly in the travel consumption what we've spent for which area. And what you can also see very, very clearly is the average consumption of precisely 25.9 kilowatt hours for every 100 kilometers. The figure on the right shows the current consumption. Yes, Stefan, 25.9 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers at an average speed of 120. That's absolutely, without any doubt, a significant figure. Yes, indeed.
I think typical for AWD, right? Yes.
Are there also some that consume a bit less, right? Yes, but I suppose
It's really quite average. I truly believe someone out there.
who wants to drive 360 kilo with 489 horsepower and that power, they're probably not going to be as critical about the consumption, right?
I really do not believe so either, yeah.
But many have commented as well on the Hyundai Ioniq 5N, right? Anyone driving such a high-performance vehicle probably cares less about consumption. Yes, but more about, feel free to write in the comments what you think. Are you sensitive now regarding the Nio ET5 Touring and its consumption? Or do you say, hey, cool car, screw it, no matter what it consumes? We have carefully set the adaptive cruise control, also known as the pilot, to exactly 140 km/h. We're in the process of clearing the onboard computer by performing a reset, and we are eager to discover the consumption of the Nio ET5 Touring over the next 20 kilometers. Allow me to guess, the prevailing tendency will, in all likelihood, continue to steadily rise. Of course, a really good electric car should always come equipped with excellent route planning. Ideally, this includes comprehensive charging station planning as well. Wouldn't you agree? That would be a little dream. Let's try that out using voice control by saying, hello, Nomi. Hey, Nomi. Take us to Munich, to the Viktualien Markt. Should I grab the picture now? She does it so fast, fluffy, fantastic. Got that too? Yes. And it's very, very, very tidy, and it clearly demonstrates to us in a straightforward manner how we can get to Munich from here, providing clear directions. I really cannot quite see just yet exactly where their detailed charging plan is. Okay, they've planned a quick charging stop, apparently a brief stop for the long 525 kilometers from here. That's really completely all right, isn't it, though? Yes, I genuinely do think so, too. Summer once more, isn't it? How far, though? Indeed, a new consumption value is now firmly established. That is, we've successfully covered 20.5 kilometers. Here we see, once again, very, very clearly if the touch would just work. And then what we've used and how much of it. And Stefan, look, the average consumption is at 32.8 kilowatt per 100 kilometers.
That is quite significant indeed. That is quite a lot, truly. Quite a proper example, wouldn't you agree?
Gaze across the field, right? That's fairly decent.
Yes, as I said.
We made that crucial U-turn after we nearly ended up way over in Cottbus. Stefan, what's the matter with that? Yes.
No, better not.
Just before the Polish border. Yes, we've settled on 160 km/h. We want to reset the onboard computer with you. We're doing that here too. I want to see if we can maintain 160 over the next 20 kilometers. That was plan A. There's a great deal of traffic today, so many trucks around. I think it's going to be quite tight. But we're doing our utmost to provide you with a transparent value. I'm telling it to the sound system. Yes?
Has a nice plan, despite being sort of no name, because you don't know it.
And very nice bass, very nice trebles, very nice midtones. In front, you've also very neatly integrated a soundbar right beneath the screen. But it's fun, isn't it? Absolutely, it really is. It's so much fun.
Exactly.
You see the heavy traffic, we want to look at the consumption. After driving constantly at 160 km/h for 17.2 kilometers, we have a consumption figure, sadly starting with a 4. 39.9 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. We'll of course take that as the average value with us. So it's on the cusp of 40 kilowatt hours. Yes, what we have to say is we have this feeling that perhaps it's only in this consumption mode for the last 10 kilometers represents. We're not entirely sure, and honestly we couldn't find out, not even from NIO either, if it genuinely is just the last 10 kilometers or so where it consistently displays the average consumption rate. This is why we've thoughtfully and strategically placed an asterisk in our consumption charts. Feel free to take a closer look at this. We have also tested the other vehicles for you so that you can more easily and thoroughly compare the Nio ET5 Touring with the other available models. Let's talk about the comfort during travel. We've been on the road with the Nio ET5, touring for several hundred kilometers now. Stefan, what does your seat of the pants feel say? Should I be honest or should I lie?
Yes.
We always speak the truth. That's not even a question. So I must honestly say,
I believe over time my rear might start to hurt a bit here. I find the seat a bit too hard. Well, I don't feel that way at all.
yeah, okay.
Emotions can indeed vary, of course, but it surely might well be.
Since my buttocks are somewhat chubbier than yours, yes, that could be it.
I just didn't want to say it, because let's face it.
Stefan is in the class weighing 79.9 kilograms, and personally I'm in that class at 99.9 kilograms. And yet impressions of a seat can vary quite a bit, you see, because I personally find it extremely super comfortable. The back support and all, I must say.
You can, of course, adjust everything electrically, where you would like the lumbar support pressed and so on. I think that's great. So, even in terms of lateral support, I find them very comfortable. Yes. Especially the option
having seat heating, seat ventilation, and even seat massage all on board, well, it certainly makes us think of vehicles in the significantly higher price ranges. So Nio genuinely offers, I do truly think, the ultimate level of comfort, and even the steel suspension is quite firm, comfortable but sporty, right? Absolutely. So like the bumps and everything.
It does take them on a bit, but it's not as bad as with some other go-kart cars. Exactly.
Some bumps, like just now, really an American car would have truly, really pushed us quite firmly into our seats, right? Yes, exactly. And you indeed do feel the bumps here too. But interestingly enough, the ride comfort is somehow just a bit smoother, despite the firmness. Wouldn't you agree? True, it also has a nice direct steering. It hardly has any body roll either. So if we're here cruising at 115 within the lane and we start to sway a bit back and forth, I must say, it's really a great suspension tuning here in the Nio ET5. And what we do know about Nio is that in their even higher end models, like in the ET7 or also in the EL6, EL7, they've even incorporated air suspension systems, I believe. Yeah, I think
it takes the driving comfort up a notch. Yes.
So from that perspective, I believe one can indeed perceive the traveling comfort as quite pleasant. And I also find it more than reasonable for the price range. We've arrived at Ionity in Finsterwald near Berlin, and we'd like to conduct a charging check with you here. For the Nio ET5 Touring, how long does it take to charge from 10 to 80%? Although I think we currently have 11% in the battery, but that does not really bother us at all, does it? That 1% probably does not make much of a significant difference in this particular case, right, Stefan? 11% is also displayed on the column, and it's nicely building up the charge peak. Yes, up to now, the Nio ET5 Touring could only charge up to a maximum peak of 140 kilowatt, resulting in a charging time of roughly 40 minutes from 10 to 80%. This has puzzled many of you. Quite a few have perhaps rightly criticized it, as many electric car manufacturers deliver higher charging speeds. And then Nio said, no problem at all. We'll solve it with a software update, and there you have it. It immediately jumped up to $169 kilodollars. It's said to peak at 180 kilometers, and the charging time should drop from just over 40 minutes to 29 minutes for 10 to 80%. We want to try this out with you. We have a recommendation for you. When we charge, we mostly charge free kilometers from Encharge. Encharge is a great website, a great app where you can collect free kilometers through online purchases, through affiliate links, through reviews of such charging parks. We've already successfully charged over 34,000 kilometers for free by doing it precisely this way. If you're truly very interested, I'll thoughtfully put the link to Encharge in the video description just for you. After 7 minutes, it's at 31%, now peaking at $174. We've recharged almost 19 kilowatt hours, so nearly 100 kilometers, if we're frugal in our summer consumption. And that's quite a solid charging speed. But in the end, it's not about the peak figure, but rather how long it can maintain a constant charging speed on the plateau. And of course, we'd be happy if we could beat the 29 minutes, right? Yes, that would be nice. You know?
He really wants to go for it, huh? Look.
30 kilowatt hours, 11 minutes, 177 kilowatt. That's pretty impressive, right? Yes, considering it's already charged to 33%.
It holds up well, yes. Come on, Mio.
Cracking the 180 of the factory specs, 179. Weaving around here, but still 50% full power. 13 minutes, almost 37 kilowatt hours in the battery. I do really like that, right? That's actually a very nice, consistent, steady charging plateau. Yes, I wanted to go on like that.
Well, I've got no issue with it. Do you think we can hit 180?
Quite remarkably thrilling indeed. And of course, we will indeed hit 180 kilowatt with just electric. You're used to us always meeting or exceeding the manufacturer's specifications. 52%, 13 minutes, a good 38 kilowatt in the battery. It does always reassure me quite a bit when Ionity, NIO, and everyone else involved really truly manage to deliver and perform so reliably, right? The charging period is also consistently the perfect chance to demonstrate to you the design of the Nio ET5 Touring once more in detail. Up here, a beautiful LED signature from the daytime running lights. Then below we have the LED headlights with the high and low beam function. Unfortunately, no matrix yet. But we have a vehicle designed to be purely electric, air curtains, and also nicely performant. Look at how the side skirt sticks out here, Stefan. That really looks awesome, doesn't it? Yes, indeed, we have equipped it with winter wheels, size 19 inches, with size 245 tires. That looks quite good too, with the vibrant orange brake caliper displayed right here. We've got it in the stunning sunbath yellow. That's essentially sunbathing yellow, isn't it? Could we perhaps translate that? Just simply translate it. Yes, please.
Door handles which extend electrically.
Foldable mirrors. And yes, he's got those, well, I affectionately call them Neo huckles. He has cameras on the left and right, a LiDAR sensor in the middle, and more cameras in the mirrors and the fenders, aiming for maximum partial autonomy and hopefully full autonomy in the future. Yes, right beneath the mirror there are front cameras, so it's fully loaded with cameras, and even the shark fin, as I fondly refer to it. Does it have a camera facing the back as well? So it does. Above all, it has a trunk, it's a station wagon, 450 liters, seats foldable, 40, 20, 40, meaning also just 20% for skis or a long item. And it even opens electronically, and right there we can happily offer you a little peek inside. We've got our luggage in here, complete with a nifty parcel shelf. I must sincerely say it's really an excellent solution, the unique way you can here. To travel properly with the family is, in my opinion, quite elegantly solved, especially what opens electrically. Closes electrically, it has a roof load too, 75 kilos for a roof rack. And optionally, it can be equipped with a trailer hitch, braked up to 750 kilos of towing capacity, unbraked up to 1.4 tons.
Exactly.
Stefan remembered that. That's great. For a trailer, caravan, horse trailer, garden trailer, motorboat, anything you can hitch up. And of course, the beloved bike rack. Very good. There it is, the record. 184 kilowatts, 61%, 16 minutes. Just take a good look here. 47.6 kilowatt hours. Now he's really pushing, pressing and squeezing very, very hard, isn't he? Now I'll show its power. What's happening?
Nio, here.
New peak charge record, purely electric, isn't that correct? 80%. It simply jumped to 24 minutes because Stefan took far too long to press it. Actually, he managed it in 23 minutes, charged up 66 kilowatt hours. He's still leaning on 128 kilowatts to finish up. If Stefan's correct, of course, we'll also hit 81%. But we got to talk about that. That's really awesome, right? So,
if they've already fit it from 40 to 29, why are we doing it in 24? Well, because we're simply electric.
But look, 24 minutes, 81%, recharge to 70%, 67 kilowatt hours. So That's really cool. And look, it just stays flat at 125 kilowatts, where, you know, there are also American supercars that used to drop below 70 before. So overall, I think electric mobility is on the rise now. We observe this with Tesla as well. You see, we're not about bashing here, goodness no. We all love electric cars and all the electric brands. The only thing we've been a bit nitpicky about was with BYD. Yes, but Nio is showing us
Software updates, I certainly have heard quite a bit about.
BYD, that they're, at least for Germany, for Europe, perhaps even giving a bit more assistance. Yes, please. Awesome too.
Wäre so toll.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's true, but we'll show you, right? Let's definitely take the opportunity to really accelerate swiftly in Sport Plus mode right now. 100, 110, 130, 140, 150 indeed. Yes, you can feel the 360 kilowatts and 489 horsepower, 170. Now we need to ease off the accelerator because of course there are other road users here on the highway too. And it really packs a punch, right? Yes, pulls very nicely.
And above all, what it does really well, I think,
is charging, right? Hey, I'm genuinely pleasantly surprised, and that's rare for me in the store.
So, this is really fun.
When the electric vehicle charges quickly and smoothly. If they could just enhance and greatly improve the efficiency a bit more, I'd be supremely happier and more satisfied. Nio is indeed trying to decouple the front motor, so in principle, it then propels itself with the rear motor when it doesn't need the power and force. But I could imagine there's still something in there, right? Definitely. Or do you think it's kind of because we have such performant engines in here that it's a bit higher in consumption? We had that with the EQE43 4MATIC back then, if I recall. Yes. And also with the 53 4MATIC Plus at Mercedes, which indeed packed more punch than the 580 4MATIC, but still had a consumption that was 20-30% higher. Yes, let's see how things progress from here.
So, performance also comes from power.
Right then, can we still manage to reach our top speed?
Steffen?
I am completely and utterly optimistic. 180, 190. Come on now, Nio. Show me the 200, darling. Yes. Oh, yes. There they are. Wonderful. But now it's really the end, right? Yes, yes, but strictly 200.
You say, Nio, not a single peep. We'll go uphill.
Downhill? We'll try going uphill. 200. I floored it, mashed the metal to the metal, the straw pedal all the way down. Nothing's happening here, nothing at all. It's not giving. Now we're starting to go downhill. Come on, give me 201, Nio. At least 201. Come on, baby. Come on, come on. There we go. Downhill skiing adventure. Hey, come on now. No, 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 no. He's reducing power, really. He clearly says exactly 200 are indeed 200. Once you hit the 200 threshold, that's the end, truly. Now let's draw our conclusions with the Nio ET5 model, where I confess I'm torn between perspectives. Regarding consumption, it's quite ambitious, really. That's undeniably in significant part due to the advanced performance units we've implemented. I would have really liked and perhaps even expected a bit more from this. Feel free to write in the comments how you see it, but we were extremely positively surprised at the charge point, having significantly undercut the new factory spec with 24 minutes from 11 to 81%. Yes, driving comfort, traveling comfort, the car is really fun. I think the seats are great. For Steffan's bottom, they're a tad too hard, but if necessary, he can use a seat cushion. Then it'll be fine again. A nice seat imprint, exactly, but the shocks...
They do a solid job.
It's nice and tight, really direct on the steering. You get a great all-around view. So, I have to say, it's a fantastic car for traveling. 450 liters of trunk space, could be a bit more, but I think it's adequate for this sporty touring design. And that's how it is, really. Maybe even a little insider tip, right? Absolutely agree with that.
I mean, the car is really fun for me too. And the charging really sold me, and positively surprised me, must say. Ride comfort is all great, as mentioned. For me, the seat's a bit too firm, but that'll probably change. Let's see what Nio has in store for us. Feel free to check out Nio and test drive the car yourself.
We're back at the Nio house in Berlin, and unfortunately, we have to say goodbye to the ET5 Touring now. However, the prospects of even more vehicles present here with the ET7. With the EL6, the EL7, we currently have the full range now available here from Nio, including those in the SUV category. Feel free to write in the comments which car you might want to see next on the channel. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed the video and you give it a thumbs up. Check again if you're part of the Simply Electric community, and if not, we'd appreciate your support with a subscription, ensuring you won't miss any further videos from the Nio family. Stay healthy and see you soon. Many thanks for watching. Yes, Ollie, it's you, Stefan. Back again with something I don't get. Couldn't they have perhaps omitted the shark fin here and integrated the camera elsewhere? Or do you think it has to be this way? It's probably intentional.
Someone surely erred again. There might have been room in the rear spoiler as well.
That could work. And then it would be nicely integrated.